Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Today we'll be looking at one of my favourite all-time 1D cameras. It is here. It is the 1DS Mark III. This was the second 1D that I bought, and it will forever be nostalgically one of my favourites. It was the first 1D I used that I got the imagery I thought you should expect to see out of a 1D. After having the 1D Mark III and having a bit of a letdown coming from the 7D Mark II to that. But this was, say, the first 1D I bought, and I thought, yeah, you got some good image quality here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you some of the imagery I took today with this camera, and I'll go from the overview afterwards. Let's get into those photos right now. Now the first image we're going to look at here is of a goose. Now this camera does bring back some nostalgia. This was for a very long time my favourite camera I ever owned, and using it again kind of showed me how good the quality of imagery you can get it from it is, and how well it works, how easy it is just to pick up and use. Now this is at 700mm on a 5.6, and it shows it's just a very good sharp image, nice colours, a nice bit of blur in the background, and it was my first full frame camera, and it still delivers the same image quality that I remember back in the day. Next image here, a couple of ducks sort of floating around. Took this photo to try and get a bit more of the reflections, a bit more details there, and show a bit more of the colours. Obviously the male duck has a bright bluish green sort of iridescent colour to it, and it just shows very nice. Even the reflection, you see how nice the colours are there, how nice the details are. Even the trees and the branches, and like on the left hand side, those are in line with the ducks, and how sharp and nice those details are even on that branch. It's just such a good camera and a really nice quality image you can get from it. And finally we got a couple of other ducks standing out of the water. Again, these are just for the colours, just show you difference in colours, especially with the branches to the left. Again, you've got a lot of moss and a lot of different colours just coming through there. You've got the colours of the ducks themselves on there, then you've got some of the greenery in the background. It just shows how good this was as a camera of producing a really nice, colourful, bright image. And this is why this was my favourite 1D for a very, very long time. I had this the same time as my 1D Mark III. And I always, where I could, use this, even though it was only 5 frames per second compared to the 10 on the 1D Mark III. I much preferred using this camera. So you can see that the imagery I took today with this camera, as you can see, very sharp, very bright, vibrant colours you get from this camera. That's why I loved using it when I first got this, and I would, where possible, use this over the 1D Mark III. The only times I would use the 1D Mark III over it would be in fast motion, so I was taking photos a lot more motorsport back then, so cars, all that sort of thing. This would be more for static vehicles, stuff I wanted that full frame image quality from. But I would try and use this again, say, as much as possible, even though it is not the camera, the speed camera. You still got 5 frames per second, which is good enough for quite a lot of things, to be honest. 10 was just a nice big jump up in ease, having that crop sensor on the 1D Mark III to get a little bit more reach, so you didn't have to use the big lenses. I didn't have any big primes back in the day, but again, it was really nice to pick this back up, use it again, re-familiarise myself with the camera, because it's been 9-10 years since I last used one. And to think that this was like an $8,500 camera when it came out, and I paid £300 for this, fully working, in good condition. This is something that, say, this was by far the best camera at the time, in my opinion, especially on the Canon side. You had dual card slots as well, so you have redundancy, full frame sensor, which is 20 megapixels, which is, like I say, even my 1DX Mark II's, you know, you're on 24, so, you know, no, sorry, even 20, so you're in the same. You know, it's quite easy to think how good this was. The only thing that let this down was low light. you're very limited on the ISO. If you went over, say, 1600, you kind of started to see that noise starting to click through. We were shooting today at about 500 ISO, so very much lower, well within the realms of usefulness, and compared to the modern cameras where you can quite comfortably shoot at 10,000 ISO, I found. But if you're looking for some nostalgia like I do, you want to use a really good, reliable, cheap, full-frame pro body camera, get one of these. They're becoming fewer and far between in working condition, so pick them up now when you can. You can get aftermarket batteries for them that work absolutely fine, but you can say the batteries aren't too bad. This is a aftermarket one in here now. This is actually an E4N, which is from the 1DX, so it's actually a much newer battery with much better battery life. You could get, like, I would take this out for a 2-3 day trip and not charge it. So no problems there at all. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, comment and like. It's helping the channel grow nice and quickly at the moment. Your comments are always great to see. The help, the information, everything you guys have given on the Kingfisher side has been so useful. I've been looking at places that didn't even existed to try and find and help improve that project. Let me know in the comments anything you want to see, if that's retro related or just normal Canon related stuff, and I will see what I can do. But thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Goodbye.